So what happens when you burn a witch? Dang, take a look here at this picture. This is a angel. A angel is a light spirit, kind of like a shooting star. So, it's like people, they used to burn themselves and shit, and like they used to burn witches, and like this is like how angels are created, spirits. So like when they burnt all the Jews, they just created a bunch of angels, during the Holocaust. Dang, take a look. That's what happens when people burn. They turn into angels. So let's see. Why did people used to burn witches? I'm curious. Update, funny, Monty Python, ... Thanks for the answers. Now I have the very long task of picking a best answer. Alright, get ready for this long answer. Best answer. Okay, this is hard to see. So, the reason for the witch burnings were basically because when people don't understand something and/or are afraid of something, in this case witches, people destroy rather than seek the truth. It was thought of as a cleansing of the soul. Witches were condemned because of ignorance, religious intolerance, fear, and zealots. The word witch actually means wise one, and the word craft means something that is practiced. Example, a doctor's craft is practicing medicine. But together, the word witchcraft simply means wise one who practices a craft. Before the witch hunts, witches were sought out because of their knowledge of healing, herbs, being, midwives, etc. Back in the Dark Ages, people did not have transportation available to drive to the doctor's office. Most rural areas did not even have a doctor. People would go to witches' house and ask for medicinal aid and help with other things, birthing of babies, etc. It wasn't until some people decided that what was being performed was evil and against the law. These same people then proceeded with witch hunts, burnings, etc., all in the name of God. The same war still rages today, both in other religions. People still hurt others in the name of God. Have a lovely rest of the day. Bright blessings. So yeah, from like 0 to like 1000 AD, there were a lot of like witch hunts and witch burnings, and that whole entire millennia just being like having to do with the number 1, just deals with masculinity. So now we're in the second millennia, and 2 is naturally feminine. So now we're going into the divine feminine, and so yeah, I feel like witchcraft and magic is going to be more common and acceptable. And I mean, as you can see, Harry Potter was like a major success. I grew up on Harry Potter, and that came out like pretty much during like the new millennia. Like, this whole new millennia is all about the Matrix, Harry Potter, and like stuff that's like relevant like that. Let's see if there's more answers actually. So, because witches float and therefore are therefore made of wood, from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. No, not really, because the Bible told them not to suffer a witch to live, and burning was the only way to keep them dead. In reality, they were just regular people that people hated. Please note, it was not to destroy their soul. People believed souls were released by fire, not destroyed. It was that they believed the witch would come back from the dead if you didn't burn them or behead them. They did both. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So if you burn a witch, you're gonna release their spirit, like that. Just like anybody, because like, I mean, your soul's eternal. Like water is eternal, and so that's why water is able to access all states of matter. So water can be physical, like solid ice. It can be liquid water, and water can be like a gas, like water vapor. So if burning water just releases it as steam. So that's what the soul just becomes, a gas, like a spirit, like a ghost, or like that. Bam. So honestly, like that whole entire energy is just derived from the stars. Like everybody's like personality is derived from like their space and location. That they are derived from. So it's like, even if they, like, they're just gonna come back through a different, like, vessel inevitably. So that's why, people are still practicing witchcraft even though they tried to kill all the witches. So it's just useless, because, like, it's just dumb, because you can't exist without, like, being birthed. I mean, unless they figure out some, like, unless we all turn to robots, but, like, hey, so here's another fucking, my apologies for my language, it just comes out. One thing not mentioned is, anyone considered a heretic was subject to burning at the stake. Joan of Arc was burned at the stake. Cathars were burned. Queen Mary Tudor burned a lot of people at the stake. Protestants, witches, were considered to have committed a profound moral offense and threatened public order because it was supposed to depend on the public piety. That is what makes this so especially horrific. We don't consider this a crime anymore, necessarily in the West, and they were killing people over it. Wow. Damn. But yeah, I had to reread that. But, like, what I was gonna say was, like, yeah, I mean, if you, like, did not burn a witch, though, so yeah, I mean, burn a witch that's totally different, but, like, I mean, that's why people are getting possessed, because they burnt these spirits, and then they just, I mean, it's like, wow. But, like, yeah, if you, like, bury a witch, then her, like, her blood, her soul is gonna, like, go into the earth, and then that'll just, like, arise, that'll just transform and, like, arise through insects, through plants. So yeah, the energy would be, like, after death, the energy would spread out, and it'd be more, so there would be more, if they just, like, killed a witch and just, like, buried her, it would, like, or left her alone, like, her energy would spread and transform into multiple beings. So it would be more powerful than just, like, so yeah, burning would be a purification process where it just stays as whole, as, like, the angel, like I showed you, right? Bam, all one. I mean, it could be all spread out too as gas, and that's why the wind is slamming your doors, huh? But wow. So here's another one. People thought witches were kind of like demons. They were afraid they'd put a curse on them, so they were burned. It was called the burning times. Another thing was the law would accuse anyone, mainly women and children, of witchcraft, and they thought torture would get them to confess. Even the non-witches will be tortured, and if they thought they don't confess, the law would kill them. So pretty much innocent people were killed. They thought they had things to do with Satan. The magic most witches use as herbs and general knowledge, pagans and Wiccans still do get burned on very rare occasions. There is a state of America where Wiccans are not allowed, and if one gets caught, there is a underground organization that will burn them, like the KKK, but on much smaller scale. Witches don't have anything to do with Satan, and the gods and goddesses they may worship are mythological people, Thor, Isis, Zeus, etc. The powers to be during those times, i.e. the church and political powers, wanted to keep control over the people by claiming that they had all the answers to life's questions. And people who practiced folk medicine and the old religions of their ancestors, i.e. pagans, witches, etc., were deemed a threat to the people in power. So the church/political powers wanted to get rid of the competition, so they killed anyone and everyone who practiced folk medicine and pagan beliefs. Another reason why people burned witches was because women were believed to be evil and sinful in nature, and that they were the cause for the fall of man. They were also believed to be more moved by the devil, and so many women were persecuted, not just for practicing folk medicine and paganism, but for just being women. Here's a documentary about persecution of folk healers, pagans, and women. Dang. There's a lot of these. Yeah, there's 4 pages. I'm just going to read the first page. 4 pages? Wow. J. Platt makes an excellent point. It wasn't confined to witches. Witches were hanged and killed in other ways as well. Another thing that never gets mentioned is that the church handed over the accused to secular authorities for execution, and sometimes the proceedings were entirely secular. Damn. I'm gonna read like 3 more. This is hard. Reading all these comments. Oh my god. Burning witches was supposed to fully get rid of their bodies. They thought that witches did evil, sinful things and were hurting people. If they simply killed them, it may leave the body open for being resurrected. Burning it would resolve the potential problem. Because when that was going on, it was believed the only way to kill the body and spirit of a witch was to burn the witch. No other way of execution would kill the spirit of... Yeah, so yeah, it probably would purify the witch and turn her into an angel. That's so trippy. Whoa! FYI, nobody convicted of witchcraft in America was burned. Whoa! Really? Were you there? They were like hung, I think, right? The procedure for determining heresy against the church is a document called the Malleus Maleficarum. In it outlines how one determines a witch and the penalty when found guilty. Note, they didn't burn witch, they burned innocent people. So, moral of the story is Hermione is hella cute, and please don't burn Hermione. You know, Hermione is hella cute. So yeah, stop hating on witches, and it's 2019. Get ready for the next election, everybody.